Hello all, I'm Sai and in today's video I'm bringing to you my short review of The Windup Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami. This was my book club pick for the month of June and I should say that I enjoyed the whole time reading this book. It was just as weird, quirky and totally magically realistic just like any of the other Murakami books that I've read so far. In the last 2 years, I have read Killing Commented Ray as well as Kafka on the Shore. I don't have any of his other books on my shelf so far, so the aim is to read at least one of his books per year for the rest of the years. Let's wait and see how it is going to go. I'm going to keep this review totally spoiler free and as much short and crisp as I can. So without any further ado, let's get into the various sections of the review right away. Starting with the plot of this book, we follow our main character, Toru Okada, who's a man in his early 30s and he's basically unemployed right now. And he and his wife have been living together ever since their marriage and she is the only sole breadwinner of the family right now. Both of them are totally okay with it. It's not like both of them have any problems with Toru being unemployed right now. He takes care of all the household chores and all the things that need to be taken care of in the house in order to keep the family running. And his wife is totally okay with going to her job and earning the money that they need in order to keep the family running. During this time only, both of them have some kind of rift in their marriage. It's not clear what the reason behind it is, but it also is shown to us in a way that Toru being unemployed is the main reason behind the friction that they are experiencing right now in their marriage. One day out of nowhere, his wife also goes missing and from then on, the plot just takes off. Apart from this, the main character also has interactions with many different characters inside the book, of which one is a man who's in his early 60s or 70s and he's a survivor of the First and Second World Wars. He has seen so much traumatic stuff in his life and there are many interludes inside the book where we get to see his story as such, as well as it being narrated to the main characters here. Apart from the old man, Toru also has multiple conversations with this young teenage girl who's about to go to this boarding school somewhere distant from their hometown, and also this woman who's kind of an occultist. He has also been receiving these obscene sexual calls from this other woman whom he doesn't know of, but it seems like that woman knows him. So yeah, basically just like any of the other Murakami books, this also has a lot of weird stuff going on, but the way in which the author connects all of them nearly towards the climax of the story is just masterfully done. Now moving on to the characters, both the main character Toru Okada as well as all the other important main characters or side characters who he interacts with throughout the story are shown to be real life people, okay? They don't feel like characters at all. They are quite weird, okay, because of all the things that they have gone through in life, and each and everything that he talks about is something which mostly always tests our moral compass, because it's not like anyone has done wrong to anyone else inside the story, except for like one or two characters who get what they deserve. But apart from that, there are also characters who have done such weird stuff and who have also gone through like super traumatic events in their life and just move on with it, thinking that it's natural and thinking that it's normal and it has happened to them because of some things that they did themselves. So some of the things that some of the side characters say might question our morality in multiple ways. I'm sorry for being so vague, okay, because if I reveal such things in this video, it will totally spoil for you and you'll just miss out on the experience of seeing it for yourself for the first time. Hence I'm keeping it this much vague. So yeah, each and every one of the characters is super well thought out and written. We see relationships like sibling relationships and platonic relationships like the friendship between Toru and that young girl, all being really well explored by the author here. It is quite big and it is a bind up of 3 books in Japanese that have been put together as a single book in English, and you can clearly see that while the story progresses. Now moving on to the world building and writing, okay? Now this is a book which actually happens in our real world itself, so there's not that much of world building involved, except for the fact that the author has to present us where the story is happening properly, which he has done really well just as usual. But the supernatural element just adds on to the world building if you ask me, because like in most other Murakami books, some things that happen in different timelines in the same world or in different places inside the same world during the same time affect some other things that are going on in distant places or different times inside the same world, like it happens in Game of Thrones and such. And the author has made use of that element properly inside the story also. Some of it is quite traumatizing to read, okay? There are like few scenes inside this book which happen from the past, especially during the war times, which that old man character narrates us through the main character, which are like, I was not able to believe that I was reading this while I was traveling in the train, because it was that brutal. And I just did not want to continue reading the book after reading that scene, yet I could not keep it down also because the way in which the author was narrating the story. So in that aspect, like any of his other books, the writing and world building in specific are just out of the world here. And the way in which he ties in the magical realism elements to the actual story that is taking place is something only Murakami can do. And if you have read any of his other books, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. So yeah, writing and world building, totally pure Murakami. And if this is going to be the first book that you're going to read from this author, it will take quite a toll on you. Finally, talking about the pacing of this book, I should say that I was quite impressed with the pacing in this one because last year after reading Killing Committed Ray, I was chill-bent that all of his other books from now on are going to be slow paced in order to make me experience the world that he's building. But it was not the case here because the pacing here was quite consistent. It did not go fast or go slow at any instant at all. There are certain things that happen towards the ending of the book, just like in any other books also. And even during those instances, it did not feel like the story was speeding up unnecessarily at all. Everything was taking place at the speed that it should in order to make us experience the things that are happening organically without, trying to just dump it all on us at once. Even after some of the main things happened before the ending of the story, that is during the climax, it didn't feel like the story was going to end there. We can see that there is going to be something more that is going to happen after the end of the story or the end of the actual story, and that was also really well presented. He did not just leave us hanging in there. And I can also say that this had quite a closed ending. It was not like as much of an open ending that I have experienced with other Murakami books so far. I think all those things added on to the pacing of the book, which kept me, hooked to reading it rather than taking multiple breaks while reading the entire book, even though it is so huge. So yeah, as a whole, I can say that I totally enjoyed reading this one and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. So yes guys, that's it for my spoiler-free review of Killing Committed Ray by Haruki Murakami. I hope it was useful for you. And if you did find it useful and have read the book already, please do let me know down in the comments what you liked about it, what you did not like about it, or what else you'd like me to read by this author next. And if you did find the video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.